Everything seems to be good today. And now that could have been bad. I think I may have jinxed myself. Hello, you beautiful people! David here, or Sin City Yeti, or just Yeti, whichever you prefer. And my sister's birthday's coming up. Although I think by the time this video is going to go up, it's going to have already passed. But for me right now, it's coming up. And I don't have a birthday present. So that means I might need to make a birthday present. So a couple years ago, I was at Michael's getting some paint, and I saw some really cool stuff on clearance, including these little wooden hearts. So I thought, they're only 50 cents. Let's get a couple. So I got a couple of them, and I have done absolutely nothing with them in the years, plural, since I've gotten them. And I think maybe it might finally be time for me to use one, especially because I need a birthday present. I don't have one, and I'm a starving artist, so I don't have the money to go purchase a birthday present. But I do have the skills to make something special. At least I think I do. I don't know. I like to pretend I have the skills. So anyways, a couple things about my sister. She is currently a VTuber, or at least trying to become a VTuber on Twitch. So she does stream her gaming. And she has a VTuber she's grown quite fond of. And it's almost become part of her personality and her persona, or fursona. So I think I could do something with that and make something special for her. I've already done one thing involving her fursona. I did this one. Isn't that so cute? Look at that. That was a Christmas present. That was a lot of work. She loved it. And maybe it's time to do something a little bit more modern with her VTuber. So yeah, I got some ideas. I think I have some ideas. I actually don't really have any ideas, but I'm gonna figure it out as I go. So anyways, enough of my face. Let's go see what I could create. Okie dokie, so here we are. Here's the wooden heart. I almost dropped it again. Goodness gracious, what is with me almost dropping these? Here's the heart. Nothing spectacular, just a plain wooden heart. Already sanded pretty smooth. I actually have no direction. I have no idea where I'm going to go with this. It's, I know I want to paint on it, just, I need to figure this out. So, here's a little, like, speed up of me trying to figure this out and try and map things out and figure out what I want to do and how's it going to look. And maybe I can, you know, get some water brushed on it and it will get the creative juices flowing and all that fun stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna soak the wood. I don't know if I should have done this. I don't really paint very many wood things, so I don't know if soaking it was necessary. It didn't really seem to help make the paint spread around on it. But let's just go ahead and start with this gradient. I figure, you know, as long as I get painting, I could get some creative juices flowing, and I'll have a direction. I'll get some ideas. And I went with this pink and decided to just do a little gradient. And, you know, maybe I could put her character in the middle. I don't know. I'm really just procrastinating because I have no direction. This is one of those times that sketching out an idea probably would have benefited me. Did I do that? No. So I got this gradient done, and wow. It looks like I did absolutely nothing from the original after it's dried. This is gonna take a lot to paint. All right, well, I kind of have an idea now, maybe possibly. So my sister's VTuber is like in a bedroom setting.
Hello, I'm Ella Bunny, and I'm new, and I love to play video games.
If you would like to go check her out, I know she would really appreciate it, and all her links will be down in the description. So maybe I could go with that and pull in some of these pinks. So I'm just gonna kind of like map out some shapes to give like the illusion of a bedroom now. I can always add some more details later on. But as I'm getting that all figured out, can we just take a moment to appreciate like how much of this white I am milking out of this container? And I don't have a crimper. I don't have a like one of those little devices that let you push all of the paint out. This is all by hand. Look at this thing. Look at it. It is I'm making sure to get my money's worth.
I'm pouring.
Yeah, you are.
I have a better direction now. I'm kind of liking this, like in the bedroom, like she's gaming kind of vibe. So now I'm going to actually sketch out her character onto the bed because, you know, sketching things out is going to benefit me so I know where some things go. And I decided to change that pillow into a headboard, so she's just going to be on her bed, and I'm going to add a window and over in the background. Going to touch up some of these walls, try and make them straight. That did not go as well as I planned. You know, this is what they invented rulers for, David, but who needs a ruler when you got a paint mixing stick, paint knife, palette knife? There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. And I'm just kind of adding some details. I'm actually pretty stuck. I think I might be facing some art block or maybe burnout. I don't think it's burnout because I can still paint. And normally when I'm burnt out, I can't even like pick up the paintbrush. But art block, like I'll be pushing around, like trying to push through it, but it doesn't seem to help. And I still don't have any real direction for where I want to go. It's just kind of like stuck. So I'm going to be adding in all of these little details, just like trying to push through this art block as best as I can. Those are supposed to be roses. I think I put too many roses on the wall. That's looking kind of crowded over there. But let's add in some shadows. Let's add in some highlights on them. Maybe I'll get a little bit more in the zone as I'm doing this. And I liked the gray look. I felt like it was a good balance between the really lightness of the pinks and the purples and the really dark blacks. Thought it was just a very good like compromise between the two. So, you know, let's go ahead and go with these grayish walls. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God!
I just realized I painted her walls millennial gray. I can't escape it. I'm old. Anyways, now we're going to go onto these pillows, onto this bed. And I wasn't sure how many pillows I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to do them all decorative pillows, like what kind of designs did I want on them. We're just going to go with some pillows. Let's at least add some separation. That will kind of help push me into a direction. So we're going in with like this pinkish purples, and I'm adding in some of the shadowing since there's the window off to the right. I want to make sure these shadows are going off to the left. Just gonna kind of help bring this more to life, a little bit more visual interest. Of course, gotta go in there and make it look like it's looking outside. I did like a frosted window look. And here I am like touching up these roses again. It just hasn't dawned on me yet that there might be too many. It's looking a little too crowded and, you know, a little too gaudy, but nope, I'm gonna reinforce it. So we're just gonna go in there with some of these like stems and the leaves of these roses, and this is about the time it's starting to dawn on me that there's too many. I kind of like just moved away from it because I was like, maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me. So I started working on this curtain. And then that was when I was like, no, it is too much. The rest of the room is not as filled as these walls. I need to cut back on some of these roses. So I just went ahead and painted over a whole bunch of them and thinned them out. And now it's looking a lot better. This is the amount of roses that need to be on the wall if you're gonna have roses on the wall. And adding in some highlights with this curtain, and I wanted to tie in the color of the curtain with like the left side. So you got the blue curtain on the right, bringing it in more with some blue in this like throw pillow on the bed, adding a little bit of detail work to make sure it looks like a pillow and not a donut. Like, why would there be a blue donut? I don't know, but I felt like I needed to tie in some more blue. So I just went ahead and added like some little blue speckles to like kind of give the illusion of like baby's breath or something. If you're not sure what baby's breath is, this is baby's breath. Yeah, like you see them in with rose bouquets all the time. So I thought that was like a good little touch. Decided I needed a little bit more of the pink and the purple on the right side as well. So I went ahead and just added in like a little purple vase with some little pink arrangements. I'm not even sure what kind of plant they would be. I just decided like, let's just do some pink little plants in there, and we're gonna stick that in the window. And that's when I went ahead and added in this ottoman. I'm not super happy with this ottoman. Like, I think the perspective of it is just a little bit off, but I was looking at a reference from the side at an angle. I was kind of following along with the reference, but it just, I don't know, something about it looks a little bit off, but not like terrible. So I was like, just move on, stop like hyper focusing on things that you're probably going to be the only one noticing. As one of my art teachers in college used to tell me, she's like, don't hyper focus so much on your mistakes. Most of the time, you're the only one that notices those mistakes. Other people's eyes aren't going to be as hyper focused on your work as you are. So she was kind of in my head reminding me of that. So I went ahead and moved on. decided to go onto this headboard. I felt like I could add in a little bit of gold to this, and I really like the gold touches on this. It kind of brought in this like rococo feel. Rococo, this style. Yeah, anyways, like I really like that. And then, oh my gosh, really? Like all of a sudden it went from being like super clean to what is this? What is this? Oh my goodness.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Yeah, I am constantly cleaning this table because look at this. You can see my hand. It's my pinky. Those are pinky prints all over the glass. Ugh, I'm paying attention to the wrong thing. We're supposed to be paying attention to me making art right now. So now we're moving on to her character. I want to block out the colors of her character. I can go in at a later time with the finer detail work. Just want to like make sure some of these proportions are okay. So I'm blocking out the colors that I can. Of course, her bunny is black, so I got to add in the black fur. That was a no-brainer. I don't even have to think about it. It also helps tie in the blackness of the headboard. And here's where I decided to change the color of her dress a little bit. I was worried that the dress was going to get lost in the color of her fur with her wearing a black dress and having black fur, so I went in with this red, but then it kind of stumped me. I really got stuck right here. Something about it just wasn't vibing with me. I sat for almost an hour doing absolutely nothing, just staring at this, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I knew like I needed to set it off to the side. If I'm stuck, I need to do something else. I'm obviously in some kind of mental block. I got this artist block and it's right there and it's keeping me from doing my thing. I need to move on so I can keep doing my thing. Otherwise I'm not gonna get this finished on time. I can always come back to it. And I had this little rock sitting on the table right here. So I got this rock on one of my walks and I figure I could take you along on this little walk and give you a little sneak peek into a day in my life. So this is near where I used to live and the dogs really love this walking spot. So I like to take them. I enjoy it. I get to see all sorts of birds and different wildlife. The dogs get to smell all of the smells and pee on all of the things. And it's just a fun time for everybody. I love to go in the morning because that's when all the wildlife seems to be the most active. And it is a wetland. It's a little bit north of Reno. One of my favorite spots in the city. But it's not just for walking that this is my favorite spot. It's also a great spot to look for rocks. I don't know, maybe you can see it, but is it just me or does this look like the perfect shape for a cupcake? And it is her birthday, so why not make a cupcake rock? I'm going to use the same colors that I was using in this heart, and I can make a cupcake that ties in with this heart. So I'm just going right into it. Mapping out this liner. I didn't even put down a base coat. This rock is already like, I'm not exactly sure what type of rock it is. Tends to hold the paint on its surface very well. And the paint is very opaque. So I just went ahead and just started painting it. I didn't even feel like I needed to really put down a base coat or anything. It's very vibrant, very clear. Got this nice red liner on there. I thought this was perfect for her. Yeah, this is gonna be a really cute cupcake. Just kind of wrapped around the sides a little bit just to kind of help give it more dimension. And I decided I was going to outline the background in black to really make this cupcake stand out. It will make the whatever color of the rock was peeking through disappear completely with it being black. And I went in with part of the cupcake now. I was thinking I was gonna do a red velvet cupcake, but of course, because I have the liner on and you can't really see a lot of the cupcake top, it doesn't really look like red velvet, but it's still chocolate. Red velvet is chocolate if you were to wear, so it works, whatever. And then I'm going in with the frosting. I thought like a nice buttercream frosting that's kind of been like wrapped around would be really cute. So I'm going to be going in with some very pale yellow low lights for shadowing on this. If you've ever paid attention to whipped cream, like it's never like harsh shadows on whipped cream. It's got this softness about it. So I thought like a pale yellow would be really good for the shadowing on the whipped cream or on the, I thought the shadow yellow. Goodness gracious. I thought the pale yellow would be perfect for the shadowing on a buttercream frosting. Why was that so hard for me to say? I like the way that this was coming out. I went in with some highlights with some titanium white just to really make the white stand out apart from this pale yellow. They're both very soft colors and I want to make sure there is dimension through that softness. I really like the way it looks. I added in a very soft purple just to really kind of like help that pale yellow look like a shadow. Went in with some line work on this liner. I want to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. And because I already used purple for a very soft purple for the shadowing on the frosting, I went ahead and just used a darker purple mixed with red for the cupcake liner to really kind of like help it tie together with the brown of the cake, because with cupcake liners, like they kind of get the same color of the cake where you have the divot of the liner. I don't know what to call them. I went ahead and did that. I thought it was looking just a little too plain, so I decided to add just random polka dots. I decided to add random polka dots everywhere, and I thought it was looking kind of cute, giving a little bit of that Minnie Mouse vibe. They're random. I should have gone with the pattern, but I really liked the randomness of it. Then it was time for some sprinkles, and I decided to use the exact same colors that I was using on the heart. So I started with the purple, then I went in with some pink, and then I went in with some blue. And I'm really liking the way that these all tie together. It looks like a very delicious cupcake, but I really like the sprinkles on it. It just, I don't know, something about it didn't quite feel done. I do like the way it looks, but it felt like it needed just something more. I'm not quite sure. And then it kind of dawned on me, one thing that I'm always seeing my sister munch on are gummy bears. And so I went ahead and thought, let's add a gummy bear. I wasn't sure if I wanted to add more than one, but thought I would add one first. Went with the purple, and that way, like, if I needed to cover it up, it's gonna be a little bit easier to cover up. And I actually kind of liked the way it was looking. So then I went in with a blue. Felt like that was one color that was needed a little bit more. There's already a lot of pink, and then purple, and then blue was the least used. And I felt like it was done. I didn't need to add a third. I almost added in a third one, but I felt like that would just be too much. Just stay with the two. And yeah, look at this. This is such a cute little cupcake. I know my sister's gonna love this. If it was real, she would be very happy with it. But now that I got the cupcake done, maybe we can go on to this heart and yeah, see if I'm over this little art block that I'm having trouble with on this heart. So I'm kind of just honestly sitting there trying to figure it out. What am I going to work on first? I don't want to get stuck in this not painting anything anymore. So I'm just going to start painting things that I already know what they need to look like. So she has this fur on her ears and fur on her collar of her VTuber. I went ahead and added in that purple, so I color blocked that out. Also, like, made the shadow look a little bit more like a shadow, blending it out a little bit so it's more feathered outwards, like it just goes from the lightness to the darkness. And I'm kind of just touching up the fur, trying to create this like fur pattern, going in with these grays and then working it in with the black where the light would be hitting her fur. It's starting to help add a little bit more dimension to the bunny, her bunny character. I figure I can add in some face details now, like her VTuber has red eyes, so I went ahead and started adding in the red eyes, as well as like a pink nose and pink lips, and just going in with the detail work I know. And then I had the idea, like, I want to tie this cupcake into this heart, so I decided to go ahead and put a cupcake into this painting, have her holding it. It's her birthday, it would be fitting for her to have a cupcake anyways. And yeah, I like the way that that's looking. And I decided to add in a plate. I was thinking about, like, if she has a cupcake, then she's probably gonna have a plate. So I did like a white and gold plate and have the gold match the gold work on the headboard of the bed. Then we're moving on to the dress, and this is when I decided the red dress ain't working. I'm gonna have to go in with this black, but I kind of left like a red fringe along the outside, and I went with the darkest colors, and then I'm just kind of like lining out some highlights in this dress in the fabric just to kind of give it more of that pleated, wrinkled look. And then I went to go grab my brush and I was trying to use it, but like, look at this. And I was having such a hard time getting the camera to focus on it. It is so little, so tiny, but all of my bristles have bent. I've used this so much. This brush is pretty old. They're just curved over like a hook. I'm thinking for all this detail work, I need like a really nice, fine, straight point. So I'm gonna grab this brush and thinking I'm gonna be cool and flip this off. And yeah, I just went right into my water. Like, okay. That was a brilliant idea, David, but at least it didn't go very far. I can just fish it out. And so now that I have the brush, I'm like, oh, well, there's a sticker on the end of the brush and it's bugging me and it's going to drive my ADHD wild. So I got to pull this sticker off and make sure like the brush wasn't sticky. And then I'm getting ready to use it. And I'm like, wait a second, I see something else that I could paint. I set it off to the side. This is the last time you see the brush. I literally did that for nothing. I got this brush all ready to paint with and I don't even use it for the rest of the video. Go figure. Just the way my brain works, I guess. So I went in with the brush I was already using. And look, there's Onyx destroying the bed I literally just made, pulling all the blankets off. Thanks for that. I just washed all of those for you. I can see that you appreciate my work to make sure you're taking care of Onyx. Good job. Yeah, look at that. And he just looks at me like, where'd all my blankets go? There's nothing left. Yeah, because you just pulled them all off of your bed. But I was painting, so I was like, you did this. You're just gonna deal with what you did. So he got comfortable in the corner. I just kept on painting. He is such a silly little dog. I love him to death, but just loves to undo the things that I do to try to make him more comfortable in this life.
Boy, that's the story of my life. No respect. No respect.
So now I'm working on like these highlights and these lowlights on the face. I'm adding like the contour. I felt like her character was starting to look like a cat a little bit, and I wanted to move away from that catness. Not Katniss Everdeen, but just Katniss. The reason I felt like her character was looking a little too much like a cat was the face was looking a little too sharp in areas. Bunnies tend to have very round lump faces, and I needed to bring back that roundness to the head, to the face, to the cheeks, to the mouth, the muzzle. So I'm just kind of like working on those highlights and lowlights. And now like I'm kind of back in my rhythm. I'm like, all right, I think I've gotten over my art block. So now I'm just going in with all the detail work, finishing up like where I've already blocked off colors. I'm just adding like a little bit of darker colors, a little bit of lighter colors. I'm just kind of like working them through, adding lines for the hair, adding soft lines for the fur, working on this plate, adding in like more little details. I decided to add in another cupcake on the plate.
The bunny gets the cupcake.
Went in and added a little bit more detail on the dress, just kind of like working everything together, seeing where there's some issues, what looks like it could use a little bit more work, adding in some ruffles, and it's really coming to life now. This is, I'm back on track. I'm very happy with this now. Adding in just like a couple other little things, like I put some gummy bears on the plate. They're a little too tiny to actually see them, but they're there. And then I went back in with this rose gold that I used for the headboard. I thought that would be a great way to tie in everything together to put on the outside of this heart. And yeah, I'm so happy with it. I think it's done. She's sitting on her bed, eating a cupcake, looking up some of the frosting. I made a little mistake with the gold, got some in the window pane, so I had to clear that out a little bit. But look at this. I feel like I captured her character in my style. So now it's time for the final review. It's done! Okay, so I was not sure I was going to finish this in time. I'm really glad that I was able to, but goodness, not a very good time for art block to be hitting while I'm making this. I think it's really cute. I love the detail I put into it. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But I love it. I think I captured her persona's personality. It's very cute, and I even attached some hardware so that you can hang it. I think my sister's gonna love it. I'm not gonna be seeing her before I can put this video up. So, unfortunately, I can't give you her reaction, but it's so cute. I'm very happy with it. I'm very proud of it. And, of course, like, getting a little rock done, too. And if you didn't notice, like, look, they're little gummy bears and cupcakes that match. So now, like, they can go together and be near each other. And of course, I already have my signature on the back. So, what do you all think? Do you think I did a good job of capturing her persona in my style? I think I did. I'm very, very happy with it. This is almost like a thumbnail. Look at what I can create for my sister's birthday present. I know she's gonna love it. At least I hope she loves it. And yeah, I'm so happy with it. It's just super cute. I struggled a little bit with all of the the black of her dress, the black of her character, just making sure everything stands out and looks separate. But I think I did a pretty good job. So yeah, you'll have to let me know down in the comments what you think. And if you didn't already get it, once again, like my sister's VTube, I'm gonna shamelessly plug my sister because she's getting started on there. And I know she would love to have so many of you that are, if you're on Twitch, so many of you go and follow her just to help her like hit her own goals. You might find a new VTuber that you like while they're gaming, who knows? So yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Be safe out there, don't get lost, don't get stolen, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye, you beautiful people.